If he can get any work done, Basta looks to lurk towards B.
Absolutely. And we may see him consistently be doing this. Most teams will have one player that generally always be found around these positions. They can offer up a lurk, get some information, make plays. And AVANGAR are looking to move through the connector position now towards the bathroom. So this is a good way to start pistol just because you can get space very quickly. All burst together towards the divider. Can see power there. He will keep tabs on what's going on. He has the information which he can give to his team, and they're getting closer and closer now. If those numbers persist and manage to find their way to trades on the bomb side, that's going to be a problem for forZe.
Anything can happen in a pistol round. Jerry has himself a flashbang, but he may not be able to use it so well. Trying to block the smoke grenade, keep something open for his team. Z-Power takes Zanji out to start things off. Face Crack follows up as well, and he gets another one. So this one's falling to pieces for AVANGAR. Adren versus 3. The cavalry is coming in through the smoke, and Flip's there to deliver the last kill. Full start on the right foot on the CT side.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried that forZe are going to have it be really, really, really good, James. They just seem so good this tournament. I don't know. It's a small sample size, but either way, that's a good start for them. Of course, always nice to get that economy going straight away. Looks like we will have a pause coming in, but in the meantime,
nice.
See Face Crack with those first couple kills, really getting that defense going, and it makes such a big difference getting the first couple kills in that pistol round. And
we have a technical pause. There is a communication server issue, which will hopefully soon be resolved, and then hopefully smooth sailing from there. I'm not big on hope. I'm a realist, Dan, but I do feel like in most cases it'll be smooth sailing once this is resolved. Straight faces in the booth for now. AVANGAR will start 0-1. James got 2650 in the bank. Some might say he's been saving.
So forZe, I'm curious if they'll get aggressive, if they'll try to stick it to AVANGAR straight away, get in their heads in that way. That can be a really awesome part of playing very aggressively, because it has a big risk to it, because obviously you're opening yourself up to more situations where, when you're attacking into positions, so oftentimes you can find yourself maybe in not optimal angles, trying to bank on the element surprise to kind of mitigate that worse angle you might be taking. But there is a benefit on the psychological game, because also you start imposing your will on the other team. Maybe you disrupt their default, you disrupt their timings. Maybe you actually hit your shots, and then all of a sudden you command immense respect every time there's a duel against you. So there is a lot to be said for an aggressive playstyle, and we've seen that from forZe so far against teams that you would say that they are underdogs against, for example.
Yeah. So since it's a technical pause, I feel like it's only fair that we continue the Edward Snowden saga. So following the nonsense yesterday, he slid into the DMs and said that he appreciated the invite to the finals. However, he has lots of interviews to do because his memoirs come out in a few days. So it gave him some warm memories, I quote. But yeah, he was unable to make it. I did ask him to send me a copy of his book to the hotel, but he doesn't even have a full copy himself, because they're all being printed in America.
When are your memoirs coming out?
I don't know. When are your memoirs coming out? You have plans for memoirs? What was that film where... Who's that guy who was Cyrus the Virus in Con Air? John Malkovich. There's a film where he's going on about his memoirs all the time. I think his wife hates him and throws him in the fire. Whatever film that is, that's quite a hilarious film. Someone out there knows it. The crowd's pretty hype, man.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, that's the thing. We have two CIS teams, so there's going to be a lot of support for both. I mean, forZe are predominantly a Russian team.
That is a serious beard.
That is very well kept.
It's a mighty beard.
Yes.
Yeah, the crowd's been great. It's been a big crowd here in Moscow, or Moscow. I don't think I'll ever get used to saying Moscow. I'll try.
Moscow.
But I do not believe in myself. The food's been so good here, man. We went to Red Square yesterday. We saw the building with the...
A really big wall.
We saw a giant wall,
a really big wall over there.
Talking about build the wall, that was a big wall by the Kremlin. It was great, man. Wish we had more time in that area. All right, so microphones being tested. This is like... Sometimes we've had the situation at a major where You know, the game's about to start. You get everyone super hype, and then it's like, it's not. You don't even get one round, and it's like a false start, and it's a reset. It's like, man, all that momentum and kind of. You know?
Then you make the recovery, and you actually kind of like manage to like bring back that energy, and then you get trolled again.
Yeah.
The third one is difficult. That's a difficult one to like.
Else. Yeah.
Because at that point, everyone thinks you're a liar. So what do you do?
Yeah,
then?
you can't fatigue the crowd. You have to have like certain timing, you know. So it is a weird one.
It is indeed. Yeah, I think we had that at a major like last year or something like that. I remember that happening. I think.
Almost always happens.
Yeah.
It didn't happen last time, but.
No, yeah, not the last.
Yeah. So it's a microphone issue, as we have seen. The players are chatting on the server as well, mostly in a foreign language, but there's some English here and there. And they wait.
I wonder what the because the microphone or like voice comms issues are so prevalent. I wonder if there is like some kind of. I mean, there's got to be an engineering solution for it, James.
It's not a server issue, so it's a device issue, it seems. So, speaking of device, I bought 10 souvenir boxes, or vouchers, if you will, for I think it's like $250 each. And I got a black laminate AK with device's signature on, and 9 boxes of junk. So I'm not too sad about that. However, I've got the Stat Track AK. It's one I ever use a black laminate, so I don't know what to do with it.
James, I have a question for you.
Okay.
What do you know in 2 sentences or less about Overpass?
Overpass.
Give me a summary of Overpass in 2 sentences.
Summary of Overpass in 2 sentences. Yeah. Okay, that's an interesting challenge. How about some of my favorite things?
Yeah, okay. I'll take it. I'll take it.
2-man setups focused on rifle support for an AWP, which we saw in different iterations of MIBR, and we continue to see on other teams as well. I mean, there's a comma in there, so it's still 1 sentence. Lots of grenades. Battles for map control. There's just mad commas going on. I might not even need the other sentence.
Yeah, I regret doing this.
I don't know. You tell me.
Okay, well, Blast have a few things to say about Overpass. Let's check out their map.
Oh, was that was your attempt to throw? Bloody hell.
Get creative.
That is the worst. Okay, next time production, ask me to do it. Let's go to the video.
Oh God, there's no video.
Was this just your idea?
No,
you made this up yourself.
I didn't make it up. Well, I made up something.
Can't get the stuff. Well, the phones are out.
All right. Okay, let's do it. Attempt number 2, video. Yes.
Overpass is the newest map out of the 7 being played and was fully released into the Counter-Strike series in 2013. The defending CTs spawn onto the A site and will therefore take additional map control immediately in the middle area. The attacking Ts spawn closer to the B bomb site, giving them only a slight advantage. The CTs are easily pushed out of the A bomb site by a full-on rush attack, making grenades important for both sides for either a defense or a retake. The A bomb site offers early warning signs for the defending side as the attacking team takes control of the bathrooms and A-long, which means backup can be called for quickly if the attacking side rushes in. Look for action around the bathrooms and the sewer area outside the B bomb site, as they allow easy access to each bomb site, but more importantly, the connector stairs between them allows fast rotates and fakes. Enjoy the match.
Excellent. I love those videos, James. Although it did say it was easy access to the B bomb site was through the sewers. And I don't know if anything is easy access through sewers. I've never tried it though. But
I haven't been in the sewer before.
Yeah, it would be a new thing for me.
I can imagine it smells of ammonia in there. Oh, and it looks like they're good to go. So the issue has been resolved and we're 13 seconds away from the second round. So a reminder, forZe won the pistol. We are in round number 2 of the first map of this best of 3 series. AVANGAR will be the aggressors, but it's eco time for them.
Yes. AVANGAR just with the flashbang on key cuts, a P250 or 2. and they will be looking for damage. That'll be the objective. Nice grenade there. That's beautiful timing. Take some chunks out of Sanji and Buster.
It's a pretty solid grenade for an anti-eco round when you know your opponent's not going to have Kevlar. Want to learn at home from the demo. If James doesn't do anything in this round, he'll have exactly the money for an AWP and no Kevlar in the next round.
Ooh, got to be careful. That's not a great range for the UMP there. Against a lot of pistols. And as the push in, they'll try to finish him off. He's weak, but in comes C Power. And spray from the UMP, and the MP7 will do the job. I may as well make some money, and forZe will be looking quite good. I would be happy to see an AWP, and indeed, of course, we'll get that AWP. See power on that one, and AVANGAR will be without one, it looks like. Jane will have the full nays. I usually just expect Jane to always have an AWP on a buy round, even this early.
Yeah, but he could always take the AWP away from forZe if they are to be successful in this round of AVANGAR. Let's see what their initial setup is. Nothing crazy coming out from forZe. The HE once again, but damage will be non-existent on this occasion. You can see there is a boost into the short B tunnel, and that's not the way to do it. Maybe a flashbang would have been good. They had players in position to flash as well, so a nasty problem for them. Team wound with the HE grenades. And more HEs, quite a lot. Going to that short B position. The plan was for 3, but 2 will do.
Yeah, interesting position here now for AVANGAR, because you get that 4v4, you've got over a minute to go. But they need to get some map control towards A, and there's already Adren who's working on that. He is lurking around the connector position, but he doesn't really have a safe way to check Divider. He's going to be firing a flash out, and that's going to allow him to get a peek in there and create some presence towards A, and his teammates can slow things down towards Suez. Meanwhile, this would be a good timing for an info play. If forZe need to get an info play, looks like they're going for it. Jerry's going to set it up, flashbang out, flip with a peek. Oh, there we go. He spots Sanji, so that's really important information. Well,
he's only seen one player, and he has not seen the bomb, so what good is that information? There is a lurker, at the very least, but there could have been an explosion behind it. They have no idea, and it seems that AVANGAR are positioning themselves to make a play through the monster position. It might be a dry one. Buster with a Molotov towards the barrels. No one pushing short B at the moment. Adren is there, slowly moving forward. Very careful attack from AVANGAR. 20 seconds, and they've got 2 players on half of the site. But here's the rotation from forZe. Jerry swinging with the MP9. Nothing doing just yet.
Yeah, so the bomb will be going down. Jane gets the plants. Takes down Buster, though. Re-smoke to make things a bit more difficult for the CTs. This will be an interesting one now, as the AWP has been posted up. Z-Power's been here for a while, looking for the cross, but AVANGAR know better than to try to cross that angle. Almeza sneaks down, so some position gain forwards. They'll hear him. He's going to start running now. That UMP, that's not a good challenge for him, unfortunately, with the UMP. Flick goes out. He's got a better weapon, more suited for a peek like that, but the double face will be the end of him. So Z-Power's all he can do to save this AWP. James on the hunt. He wants to collect that AWP.
Yeah,
he said, James, he's hungry for it.
We'll see if he able to make it in time. Once the bomb explodes, it covers your footsteps for a few seconds. So you can chase, but there'll be no further chase, it seems. The AWP will be taken into the next round for forZe. An AWP and a bunch of USPs at the moment. The money's not great, but they can buy some rifles, probably with some SMGs to go with. An early first round for AVANGAR. And now it is time for them to try to put forZe on eco.
This is going to be the mission. Z-Power on that AWP could have something to say about it. He's really an important player in this round, but the problem is, well, it's going to be hard to activate him. He's playing towards the long, so it's actually a very conservative setup for forZe. Focusing towards the B position, looking for a play around short, actually. Jerry and Face Crack taking a look. I think they've... Okay, did that?
They're going to boost towards the entrance to, well, the stairs, I think.
Yeah.
I get that impression, but they're going for a double peek at the moment on the sandbags, but they do have 3 players in roughly the same area, so they could have opted for that.
It would be good as well on this spot.
Yeah, maybe they go for it later. The entire AVANGAR squad is here. Would have been a lot of information, maybe a trade kill there, and perhaps that's not too favorable for them. A pop flash this time, and Buster makes his way towards a short B position. Where is the AWP? That's a giant question that's just been answered. Sanji went through Monster, first one to fall as he often is. The cover is there. Look at the lineup. Absolute brutality, and there'll be no kills apart from Jerry getting taken out. That was a big opportunity for AVANGAR, and they just were not ready for that setup.
Yeah, that was a cool setup. You don't I'm struggling to think when I last saw a team actually run that setup. And Flit waiting close for the UMP, it feels like you couldn't really have had the weapons positioned better. And as you say, James, you know, an option is to go for that stack, so you can see players going for the attack that we saw AVANGAR going for, but didn't seem to matter. The pinch was dealt with effectively by forZe, and that's an important one. But more importantly now, James on the AWP. However, AVANGAR don't have much utility to open up the map, so it's going to be a slow round, I feel like. And, you know, whilst James tries to get that pick.
Yeah, Keycut with one of the 2 AK-47s, just keeping an eye on short B for the time being. Doing a good job of avoiding the fire, the HE's Molotovs in that short B position. Sanji, I'm the leader of the Sanji fan club. This guy always has SMGs, or the worst weapons. It's very interesting the role he has on AVANGAR. When I've eventually got some time, I'll be watching his demos. But AVANGAR have managed to creep forward into Monster, maybe spotting a leak here. Only been good for one round so far, but who knows? We've got flashes over the top, and the CTs wait.
See power there ready. Indeed, Jerry below, face crack there as well. Everyone's here, that's fantastic. Great little burst from a face crack to take down Buster. The trade's in, but the damage has been done. The flick missing there from Z-Power, but that could be a great nade. Indeed, it takes down Kika, finishes him off. Z-Power tagged down to 3 as Jerry finds forward position towards barrels. And oh, he doesn't spot the player on the bomb site, the smoke favoring Sanji, and things starting to get very bad for forZe. It's on Flitz. Sanji with that position, looking through the gap.
That turned around really quickly. The running towards the barrels gave the game away there. The HE took out the bomb planter, but obviously forZe didn't know exactly where the T's were. I don't think they expected them to be so close to the site. If he had found that frag, then I think that would have been the round for forZe, but Sanji held it together for AVANGAR, and they're good for their second round. They've kept the CTs poor. They've gone straight back to losing ways. Another awkward situation for Z-Power with the AWP, and this time things may get worse for him. James got his AWP. 3 HP for Z-Power, and he just fragged the Dren as well, so he will survive with the AWP, just to be clear.
Some chance, some supports. Love to see it. Now the question is whether AVANGAR can follow up. The round really felt like it could have gone either way. And this one is looking really weird again. Z-Power on the AWP and a UMP, and then 4 with 5-7 and AUG. It's a variety buy. Z-Power looking for the gap shot, but it's not going to find anything there. Has to drop that incendiary. Doesn't know how fast AVANGAR are moving across the map. They are quite slow. That's what we can see. Of course, forZe don't know their pacing, and forZe will reconfigure their defense. Flit will be the player playing down long. Z-Power left on the A-bomb sites, and the other 3 towards B. We get a boost. I think we have another boost setup on B actually.
Yeah, we just saw that setup.
Yeah.
Just trying to make things weird for AVANGAR as they push in. These teams very familiar with each other, so we'll see how much AVANGAR can expect these shenanigans. We've got another setup towards long, so that's the heavy investment with nobody inside the toilets. Buster clearing the entrance. Z-Power just keeping an eye on a jump peak. Keycut taking out towards B in the meantime, and Jerry's going straight through the tunnel. He doesn't have much to lose with the 5-7, so he can go for the info play. That said, AVANGAR are moving towards B now with the bomb in tow on James. 33 seconds left. They need to collapse on this site soon.
Dren there with the smoke towards heaven, I believe. Sanji making his way across with the MP9, the MAC-10, sorry. He has a position, forward position here. My goodness, Jerry spots that one out. And now they have a strong spot to retake the bomb site from, looking to push up the ramp. James looks to fall back, but he might have Jerry going quick to the trade position. There it is. And now it's just down to a Dren. He's occupied by the harassment from Connector. Got Flit there, keeping him entertained whilst the rest of forZe occupy the bomb site. Dren's got to make some choices here, but he is frozen in place. And now that will be his resting place as forZe pick up the round. So it looks like AVANGAR can't find that momentum that they want, James.
Yeah. It is back and forth, but seems to be favoring forZe at the moment. AVANGAR with not much money in the bank. James going to go for the hero AK-47. I'm not sure if the team are going to buy behind it, but we'll soon see. Difficult start at the beginning of Overpass. Keeping each other poor. The money's not really perfect for either squad, obviously not for AVANGAR or Nico. We'll see what they can do with this AK. Love a solo rifle. These HEs have been pretty consistent, and you don't want your rifle player on 50 HP before he sees anybody. But they've seen those HEs come in round after round, so that's a little disappointing. Sanji, not much to offer on this occasion. Very brittle roll he has on AVANGAR. Taking bullets for the team, often with the SMGs and so on. So AVANGAR will try to do some damage. James creeping in the toilets, having a look towards Long with the AK, but he won't find anything just yet.
Yeah, it's really interesting how, again, strong force have been. And it's not great timing for AVANGAR, because I feel like if they get anything less than first place at this event, they're going to be hugely disappointed after their major run. Either way, not much rest since that major, so forZe in a good position in this final so far, and looking to make sure that they keep all 5 players alive, of course. James looking to complicate that. Right now, AVANGAR need to prioritize doing damage. They don't really have utility to get positions. They're going to have to fight for the position instead.
Get the HEs in their flick. Go on, there it goes. Oh, I went at the front instead of the back. Or the inside, rather. 26 seconds. AVANGAR looking to burst onto the side with the remaining 3 players. And now it's remaining 1, and now it's remaining none. Damage was done, however. Flit was taken out. So that's something. Face Crack takes a UMP into the next round, so no gun was recovered in replacement of that. Maybe not in the right position, but only 1 play lost. Not too shabby. So now we'll see what the shortcomings are for AVANGAR after buying a rifle in the previous round. You can see James got 1900. So it's a CZ for him. So it's a calculated risk. Didn't quite work out for them, and now they're 3 rounds behind.
Yeah, it's not great, is it? AVANGAR, very little to work with, but they have firepower at least. The timing from Jerry, you don't expect that. But there was a flashbang there from Flit as well. The combination, you can see that there's method to the madness from forZe as they pick up an early advantage. And again, you know, there's a smoke grenade and a flashbang remaining on AVANGAR. Now they're down a man. One of the ways they could have mitigated disadvantage in this round was through numbers, and then that has now been taken away as well. So forZe. It's all forZe right now.
We've seen Kika talk about how important the team aspect of forZe is, and of AVANGAR is, but there's a great example from forZe. A Dren now with 2 men taken out, minute on the clock, the bomb's thrown towards the side. That Molotov's going to be a problem, however. Almeza taken out, leaving only 2 forZe players remaining. Z-Power and Flit. They don't really have position despite the odd piece of utility, so they will be forced away. Looks like it'll be round 3 for AVANGAR.
So once again, the pendulum swings the other way. Kikat's going to find Flitz. Z-Power really must save this. Their money's, well, it's not great. Goes forward for the kill. That's actually really important because, as you can see now, you know, he has a challenge against James, but at least he's not going to get pinched. So if he wins this fight, he still has a chance for survival. Oh my goodness. Z-Power might just do this, taking down another one. Actually finding the right way to dodge away from Sanji. And Z-Power is actually going to survive. Very impressive stuff. Very well done by Z-Power. Picked every right move in that scenario and keeps the AWP alive as a result, which also means that he's able to potentially drop a secondary AWP if they want to because of his money, or drop a rifle, which is what he did. So forZe looking good on the money. Well, I'm sorry, on the buy. If they're able to take this round, their momentum will begin all over again.
Nice 2K from Adren to clear out the front of the B-bomb site. Still work to be done around the back. Now a tactical timeout has been called by AVANGAR as they focus on what to expect from forZe in this round and what they could do about it. Of course, Sanji has a MAC-10 with 4 AK-47s for the squad. So whereas James had a CZ previously, it's always going to be Sanji. He is very ready for these SMGs. At the major, we saw him burst out of Boiler on Inferno with the MAC-10 with some flash support. So they have setups for this, and we've seen him wide swing through Monster with the MAC-10 and take out 2 players as well. I want to say it was versus Astralis, but I can't remember 100% now. We need to get back into the game because the game is live. Keycurt taken out there. That must have been an aggressive peek from Z-Power. Look at the X on the screen. That's got to be through Monster.
Yeah, indeed. Almeza in a good position. Now, will this be caught by Adren? Adren looked really nice in that previous round with those 2 entries, but Almeza's got a great off angle here at the right eye peak. But Adren still is able to deal with that. So, lovely start for AVANGAR in this one. That's going to cause some rotation for sure as we get Z-Power moving towards Dice. Does have that AWP extremely strong from Dice. But to be very cautious not to challenge that position if you don't have any flashbangs or smokes to cut off the vision of the AWP on Dice. Z-Power will actually be forced back to that position. Here he goes. And looking for that challenge. Will there be one without a flash? That's always, I think, an error.
Dren's been taken up towards the long position. I don't know how much he has, how much information he has on the setup towards that long position or what they can do about it. Smokes on the side now, wall of smokes. MSL style. That's a nice spray from Face Crack. Sanji a little slow on the trigger finger there, which only leaves 2 AVANGAR players. 30 seconds, 2 versus 4. They've got at least 1 player flanking. They don't know that it's actually 2. How on earth are they going to plant the bomb? Because they need to. Boosting over the smoke, looking for a CT. Wrong place, wrong time. Will a trade be there? It will be. Z-Power the final frag. 3 surviving for forZe, making it 6-3 on Overpass.
It's actually really amusing as well. I think, we had an interview with Jerry previously today where he was talking about how they, studied AVANGAR and their style of play and how that helped them have a really strong economy on their and how they play their CT side of Inferno against ENCE. And again, Z-Power, he's got 2 deaths right now, even though they've lost 3 rounds. That's pretty good. That is pretty darn good. He's
held on to his AWP in a lot of difficult situations.
Yeah.
When they've had to give up a round on the B-bomb site. Taking some pot shots, not outstaying his welcome. Got to be careful on this anti-eco round. The door opener is a bait. Look at Keycurt moving through, but forZe have got 2 players here as well. So they are prepared for this. Trying to catch them off guard won't be that easy, but that was a very simple bait play. That was a pretty cool little scenario there.
Yeah. And here's another one. Buster got to nail these 2. Only gets the 1 though. Needed the 1 dig on Z-Power to have a chance to take down the second player. Sanji with a good position. Oh, will be spotted though. And man, I've got a really good feeling about forZe right now. They're playing really well overall. One of the important aspects of keeping the AWP alive as much as possible is just the level of threat. The AWP can just shut down angles just because the other team knows it's there, and it's not safe to push those angles without the requisite flashbangs and smokes and so on. So that can create some issues. Staying alive a long time is always good, but you never want to play too safe as well. You have to take risks at the same time.
2 pistols left. 30 seconds on the clock, and now it's Adren. Really trying to dry out these CTs, make them use as many grenades as possible. That's a good $4,000+ of damage he just did at the end there, but forZe looked pretty damn happy. I gotta say, I've loved Jerry's interviews today, as we always do.
Yeah, he's the best.
It always takes you by surprise every single time, but vetoing by saying vertigo building is like the best thing ever. Respect for doing it in not your native language, but that was really amusing. All right, 4-round lead for forZe. AVANGAR back on the buy. Sanji back on the MAC-10 as per usual. Low fragging game so far for pretty much the entire AVANGAR squad. Jay makes his way beyond the initial point of engagement very quickly and then starts to chill out. There's a big focus towards B for now from AVANGAR.
Yeah, there's been money issues, which has created a spot where James can't really buy AWPs on this half. And this is a nice push from Almeza. Will he actually try to check that? Because sometimes you'll have a lurker there in a default. Oh, no! There goes Almeza. Easy one for James. And that could be a problem. Jerry now losing his battle towards Suez. Buster not expecting the trades to be so delayed. And Face Crack going for another one. Knows he needs to deliver something here. They've got to take action. They're down a man. There's a minute to go. AVANGAR could do basically anything from this point.
Yeah, it seems forZe are realizing that the push is coming. They're going to smell the weakness after that frag in the short B position. FaceCrack had to fall back, however, and now he's running off the distraction flit. That FaceCrack just enabled him. 3v3, 45 seconds on the clock. The bomb is in B, waiting for the Molotov to come and go. sanji makes his way in. He's got an upgrade on the M4 now. 40 seconds to plant the bomb. There's still a rotation to come in from forZe. Flit has fallen, leaving FaceCrack with a lot to do. He's got to buy time for Z-Power to activate as well. James goes out, avoids the flashbang, but he can't avoid the trade. sanji will take Z-Power out as well. And there is a round for AVANGAR. Even though they lost the round fours, I like the two-man plays they've been doing around the short B position, where they're baiting each other. They're only showing one player. This is so unlucky for our Mazer as well. The play was really well timed, but James was looking back and forth as someone does, like outside A Mirage, for example, looking towards Palace and the ramp. Timing worked out for James there. Unlucky for forZe, but they can still buy. Just about.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised how Mazer didn't check the playgrounds, but it's all good. We've seen him do well with a buy like this in the past. And importantly, Z-Power having that AWP can offer a lot with that. That is for certain. A slow round here for AVANGAR. You know, they're really trying to make sure they don't get caught by any of the aggression. Knowing that forZe's buy will be a bit weak, but that's not bad from Jerry. That's an AK-47. That's pretty huge, picking up an AK in a round like this. That's got to feel... Okay, the pressure's got to start to mount now for AVANGAR. Going down 4 against 5 and giving up an AK.
That was no easy frag we just saw there. He saw half of the guy's head and just flicked him with a 5.7, which is not the most reliable weapon at the moment. But that first shot certainly can be. So AVANGAR don't really have a lot of map control at the moment. You can see on the radar that forZe have the short B position, but they still got 4 people around B. The rotation towards A is starting because that's a lot of information for them. A smoke down on the short B tunnel, and all those players towards B, they start to move Jerry with the AK. Can he get there in time? It looks like it because AVANGAR are playing this so slow. And again, forZe don't have a perfect buy in this round. They've got a man advantage. They've stolen a weapon away, but AVANGAR are making this hard on themselves. 30 seconds. They've got 3 players on long. James far back holding the angle while 2 of the 4 start to push the site. And they're waiting for a rotation, but they've got to be successful on the A side to begin with. So far, so good. FaceCrack gets opened up, as does Jerry. This might just work out. Then again, it might not. The bomb's on the floor, and they're at 15 seconds.
James waiting patiently for that one, but there's not too much time left. You have to force the issue. Oh my goodness, Flit, can he deny the plant? Or maybe just about? No, he can't deny the plant. And he's got Z-Power coming in now, a little bit slow, and now it's getting really bad for Flit. Can even go for a reload. He's gonna make it happen with the USP, but James will take him down, and I feel like AVANGAR, James, that was a gift that perhaps should not have gone their way.
Yeah, that felt like panic spray on the bomb planter. You could barely see any of him. James, how on earth? How on earth? Considering the situation, to get a frag like that, what if he doesn't get that? What
well,
if
that's the thing.
Frag doesn't come in?
That's the thing. You know, having to move around with the MP9, you don't even have to do it. You can just wait there with the MP9. So it's crazy the peak even came in. But you do peak really fast with an MP9, so it is a bit better.
No,
than
it's through a smoke. It's through a smoke.
Oh, through a smoke.
Yeah.
Bloom an egg. Okay.
It's just through a smoke on long, completely through a smoke. Pistols for forZe. This round does not look good for them, and it does not look comfortable either. The pain begins quickly with Keycut taking Jerry out. forZe with a 3-man push on A long. And they start to make their way, probably for exits. This is a good round for sanji to pick up some kills and make some money. You can see he's already searching. He smells the blood in the water, sanji. Got the sound cues from our Mazer as well. That'll be a free one. Some nice money for him. And the hunt continues. So looking at round number 5 for AVANGAR. But is there a chance to flip? I don't feel like this is reliable enough to do this. And it won't be, not on this occasion. Z-Power alone now with the USP. Gets a smoke grenade out of it. We'll try to get some money. Oh, they were lining up for him as well. I think he rang the bell of Adren, but to no avail.
Yeah, good recovery coming in from AVANGAR now at this point. I always switch between AVANGAR and AVANGAR. I don't know why that happens in my mind.
Yeah, I do the same. I almost enjoy it.
I mean, they both sound pretty good, so.
We have commitment problems.
AVANGAR. Anyway, the situational utility is pretty lacking for forZe. Wouldn't be surprised to see more aggression from them. Although, in the same respect, ouch, oh my goodness. In the same respects, AVANGAR have been playing very slow in their pace to try to catch aggressions, which actually does give you free map control if you're the CTs. So you can try to take advantage of that. This might be a good round to try to do that. Again, lacking utility, no AWP finally. AVANGAR starting to really threaten like they're going to take over this half. So good recovery. 6 rounds on the T side, also pretty decent scoreline. So, you know, props to AVANGAR playing strong.
3 rounds in a row for them. Flip 13 for 8. James 12 for 9 at present. Those are the guys doing the most damage, at least in terms of casualties. Right, James out with the AWP now. The same cannot be said for Z-Power. Smoke in connector. Will the pop flash be there for Jerry to go towards short B again? I don't think so. Different kind of flash, but Adren has a spray. Very aware as Adren, very experienced, of course. Made more than 1 major final. Almeza doesn't want any more part of that. So forZe have 4. You've got to expect some aggression if you're AVANGAR. So how do they play the remainder of this round out?
Yeah, it gets to the point where you need to take bigger and bigger risks. We have a play into sewers control, which is really good because they have Z-Power in connector. So if you get this position, it tells you a huge amount. But of course, they need to be looking down that monster tunnel. You can get an elevated position to do that safely, and that can give you some good information. Because we're going to see that AVANGAR are going to go towards this B-bomb site. I don't know if there's any knowledge of this.
Yeah, they've crept through Monster repeatedly in this half, and Adren's got a kill on short B as well, which leaves Face Crack in a horrible situation. I don't know if anybody's in position to flash for him. We've still got players looking towards A for forZe. That leaves them with only 2 players in the second last round of the half. And I think this one is over. Will Almeza get around the corner fast enough? Ooh, Sanji just about sees him. Trying to get there. It's such a weird one. Do you pull out the pistol to try and catch up with him? Do you pull out your knife and fear a 180? Almeza's made some steps now, but Sanji's got an idea as to where they're going.
Yeah, he's got such a forward position. It's unlikely that... I mean, he will get a challenge at some point. Oh, and Bus is lurking by the stairs in connector. Could wait for the pinch. Depends if they know exactly where he is or not. Not sure if they do. Buster makes his way forward. Almeza could take the initiative. Gets the dink, but he gets one to the brain as well. Z-Power. Ooh, that almost went sideways. And Z-Power will stay alive. Sanji can't find the trade on him. Oh my goodness. Such a dirty kill from Adren. He's having a good game so far. I've seen some impact frags from him, that is to be certain. 7-7. Finally, AVANGAR equalized. They've been trailing for quite some time. I think there's some question early on, given forZe's success, whether or not they would even make the comeback, but they've done it, and they're looking confident. Very tough spot again for forZe, given that they don't have an AWP. They don't feel confident just sitting back on the bomb site and letting the T's come to them. They want to make plays before that, and you can see here one taking over the short B position in the sewers. So it serves as an information play. You can get some aggression. You get the ability to rotate players back from B onto the A bomb site. But they don't 100% know what AVANGAR are doing. Again, AVANGAR have been playing very slow, and because of that, forZe, you know, what they've seen so far is a lot of rotations back through the monster tunnel, as James said. So that could still be happening. It's AVANGAR a team that could be doing that with like 20, 30 seconds to go. So forZe can't know what's going on right now.
Sub 1 minute mark. And AVANGAR are creeping. They are quiet. forZe not going for any information plays. Don't really have the range to with many of these weapons. Z-Power spots some players towards long. What is the reaction? We've still got 3 deep on B, and they're making forward plays towards toilets. I like this, the moving accuracy of the SMGs, and this may catch AVANGAR off guard because they've got nobody in the toilets, wondering what exactly is going on. Maybe Flip becomes the bait now for Z-Power, but he's only good for 1. 24 seconds on the clock, and who knows, if he played it a little slower, maybe he could have stopped the bomb plant. Bomb will get planted. 3v3 retake.
Love the bunny hopping there. That was very efficient into the boost, and it might work out because they get the fast kills they need. Jane with the trade onto Face Crack. Where's the trade onto James, though? That's the question for forZe. Oh my god, that is savagery. There's the trade from Almeza. He's in position. Does he go for it? He does. Kika takes that battle confidently, and that will be AVANGAR 8-7 at the end of the first half.
Neck and neck at halftime, despite a string of rounds. They come back late in the game from AVANGAR. You're on camera, Dan. Please wake up.
Oh, my goodness.
And we are going to be heading to a break, and then when we're back, it's going to be the second half. We will see if that momentum continues. Stay tuned. Then we would otherwise see in some situations here on Overpass in the first half. We'll see if it continues here in the second. 3 players going upstairs for forZe and Z-Power.
Bloody hell, James.
Jerry will be going towards B. Look, it's a lot for me to digest, okay?
You're the one that told me to start saying it as well.
I know. sanji's making a forward play into the short B area. Big fan of Ammonia.
Oh, dear.
Oh, he's shooting the feet, the hot coals. Jerry trying to Super Married Brothers his way out, but he can't do it.
Yeah, that's a bit awkward for him. However, still plenty of opportunity for his teammates in this pistol. forZe in connector. You can really do anything from this position, and they could use Z-Power by Monster as a lurk, or they could try to combine forces with him and split through short B. That's what they'll opt to do, and that makes the most sense. I feel like, what the hell was that? He didn't even stop running! Oh my god, that is shenanigans and a half from Kika, as forZe have a lot to answer for. Now they need to find some headshots, and headshots they'll find, but is it enough? It's down to Almeza now, caught on the reload, and AVANGAR will pick up that much-needed pistol.
sanji causing problems, but that drive-by from Kika, it was Vegas, it was 2-pack, it was nasty. 9-7 for AVANGAR, and we can have a replay of this.
Didn't even stop running.
There was no strafe cancel there, nothing. That was just nothing but D, baby. And AVANGAR are on fire. They continue that momentum. MP9s galore. This is the darkest timeline. sanji has a rifle, everybody else has SMGs. What kind of situation is that? Very weird.
Evil sanji. Oh, with the nades doing pretty good damage. Well, the one nade at least, and that will be forZe just running up long, and it's going to be caught by Kika. He's got the tool for the job. He has the MP9, and he's going to hear all of them. He's got a very good position. You can see they line up. Nice.
Okay.
Nice work with that P250. Almeza had to be the guy to do it, and he does. But I can't imagine they'll pick up much more. Surely not.
Flitz on the outside of the box, also known as the toilets outside the UK. Flitz in the red. He's almost dead, but he's alive. Jay makes his way forward. He's going to try to limit the space that forZe have. He doesn't fear these players. He knows they are sans Kevlar. Some jumping accuracy from the MP9 as well. Not spectacular, but it is better than the other SMGs. James doesn't realize that Z-Power has gone beyond his position, but he'll fall back. He'll be more conservative in his approach.
Holding position has sanji around dice for cover with that M4, as you highlighted, the only man with an M4. James, that's a bit labored, and this is starting to get a little bit outrageous, the amount of damage that they've accrued. AVANGAR need to stem the bleeding, and they must do so now. But will Buster be the tourniquet? Looks like he is. And that will be 10 rounds now for AVANGAR. Human tourniquet.
Flame continues. I tried to talk then while holding my cough button, then realized perhaps I should let it go.
You're having a bad day, aren't you?
It's I'm not having a bad day. I wouldn't go that far. Let's not overreact. Dan.
Terrible day for you.
James is out with the AWP. There are more rifles now on the AVANGAR squad. They'll take a timeout. You see there's an AWP for Z-Power as well. Jerry with the Krieg. Could be giving somebody a bad day with that. Z-Power now leading the charge, 17 for 9. Just ahead of James, 16 for 11. So, apart from the score, all things feel pretty even to me. But maybe it's time for Jerry to have more of an impact in this game. He is currently 6 for 12. Needs to catch up with his teammates on this T side. I do wonder if we're going to see as many pushes from forZe through Monster, just dry peaks as we saw from AVANGAR in the first half.
Yeah, it's a good question. I wonder many things when it comes to these two teams when they're facing each other. We thought we would get a good game. I think that's what's happening so far. It's looking pretty nice. Good nades coming in from AVANGAR. Buster close with the MP9 where it does its best work. Looking for that peak off the flashbang. The setup's there, but the opportunity is not. Buster really wants it. They don't have much left in utility. They need to get a kill somehow. They've got a forward position on Keycut towards the A side of the map, so they're rotating 4 players towards this B bomb site. They're putting it all on red.
That was a pixel-perfect peek from Buster, if you can call it a peek. Just showing some shoulder, inviting some spray. Not taking any damage whatsoever, not overextending. AVANGAR really trying to defend this B bomb site, but now we've got forZe trying to make inroads elsewhere. Kika in a very forward position. That should have been a free kill. He knows that. You can see it on his face. And look at the rotation. It's been heard by forZe.
But the bomb is in sewers, and they're going to hear the running away from the B bomb site. Surely forZe have the information to know that it's just now 1 player or 1 to 2 players at most on this B-bomb site, and Almeiza's going to take down Sanji, and they'll take down the B-bomb site, or try to do so at least. Almeiza gets a look in, but they found James. James is a huge problem here. James could keep them from crossing to the site, and they know it, so they're going to rotate back to A. Around the world we go.
That's really interesting. At the time Sanji pushed B, they didn't really have the information that anybody was close to A or any kind of cues, and no one was in position to really properly defend B, but still they're making them push the A bomb site, and Adren's in between. He's in a sandwich in divider, being shot in the arse, but it's about the bomb plant. 8 seconds to plant a bomb, but he'll still take out the player in the back, and the bomb's being planted on truck in the meantime. 3 versus 1 though. Flit has so much to do. This is a really back and forth round, and there's so much more, but there's a trade from James, of course. 11 rounds for AVANGAR.
What a weird round. Back to A to B, back to A again, and it was really all about Adren. The bathrooms were not cleared. I wonder what would have happened had the bathrooms been cleared correctly. There was a player that pushed past Adren. That's why, of course, all of forZe are thinking to themselves, oh, this is fine. We can just run with our knives out. Nice shots from James. You can always expect James to deliver something good, and deliver he did. 11-7 as AVANGAR will force forZe to a half buy. And we have a couple Mag 10 CZs, Deagle, and a lot of grenades, so this could be quite dangerous for AVANGAR.
Okay. 4-man investment to the B bomb site by AVANGAR. They're in the best position to succeed. Buster makes his way through. A flying face crack will be denied. There's a flashbang, he avoids it. But can he find Almeiza? Almeiza's blind, and more teams are coming in. The variance is ridiculous. Maybe they can pick up a weapon if they find it in the water. Jerry continues to hold W, moving onto the site. They know the rotation is here, and they move back out of the choke points. So they've got 1 frag. It's 4 versus 4. They've got 1:20 on the clock forZe, and it looks like they will try to get some information towards A.
And away they go, back through T-spawn, through connector, it looks like. And of course the bomb is waiting in sewers. So trying to fake out the big rotation to A, and it actually looks like it's worked. They found a timing window here, but the door being closed is a very big problem. It's a big sound cue, and that'll pretty much tell AVANGAR everything they need to know. forZe actually committing towards that A-bomb side after all, but just going with a very slow pace. Now AVANGAR are surely going to start to worry. This may be... It may get a second timing if AVANGAR decide that they need to rotate again. And if forZe remain to be unseen for the next 10 seconds, I think we might see another rotation from AVANGAR. James just jump peeking dice though. He's going to be so strong in this position. I don't know how they're going to deal with it. They have only 1 Molotov. And Kiko's coming in on the flank now. And forZe, indeed, they go back to B. They've nailed the timing here. Yeah,
Jerry was waiting all along. This is the ultimate plan, but will it work? Jerry taken out, Almeiza taken out, and Flit could plant the bomb. Will he be allowed? Sanji is coming. He fakes the plant, and maybe that was the best they could do. They won't get that bonus money, but they can still buy. AVANGAR moves to 12. 5-round lead now. Looks like forZe wanted to prioritize, even at the end there, doing some damage to the CT economy. AVANGAR continue to be burning bright like a star on this game of Overpass. So here is the buy from forZe. Z-Power's got the Kevlar with the AWP, but not much more. There are plenty of grenades, though, on most of the players. It is a timeout from forZe. They need to find a way to, well, to have some more success. They haven't won a round in this half just yet. And if you include the 4 rounds in this half and the 5 before, it's 9 in a row for AVANGAR. 9 in a row. 9 of 12 rounds have come one after the other. That is what I call momentum.
It's certainly looking like we might be about to see a turning point here. forZe need to get something working. They've tried to do a lot with scrappy buys, but here comes the AWP, here comes a... They don't have full utility, only 3 players with max utility. Flit and C-Power have absolutely none. Well, Flit has 1 flashbang, but C-Power has none. Change of approach here. Perhaps from both teams. We've got Buster on that second AWP. C-Power will be stuck behind a Molotov there, and James going to take some damage as well. I think that's some spam from Jerry. Sending Jame back to the A-bomb site.
You can see AVANGAR currently with a 2-man setup on long. This has been common on both halves in its various iterations. See, oh, Buster, got to be careful. Going a little too deep there. High risk, but somehow gets away with it. And now it looks like Kika will try to play off of him. You can pop flash this position if you've got a teammate, but it seems FrazeCrack will just go for the raw peek instead. Buster was previously seen on log. You can see the paranoia, and he is still here. But again, there's no one to flash for this position. So this will be a weird one. Buster knows somebody is close. Not a flashbang against the smoke. How aggressive does he want to be? He's not hearing the jumping. He gets the flick though, but he'll be traded immediately. Almei's at the front of the site. Jame flicking, trying to do something. They need to... Oh, that's gorgeous from him. They're still at mad disadvantage, so they lose Sanji at the same time, and they don't know where the bomb is.
How does Jame pull those ones off? But unfortunately, a Dren can't hold, and that's going to be a wrap for Jame and for AVANGAR in this round. But wow, that's a flick. That is quite the flick. Can he survive now? That's the question. I mean, forZe are in a situation actually where their money's not very good, so there might be a gentleman's agreement here that everyone just tries to save. And they do know Jame is dangerous, and it would be great to get rid of that ult. But again, I think they really have to prioritize their own economy here, and looks like they'll go for that.
Self-preservation society. Jame holding on to the AWP. forZe make it to 8. The deficit's not that bad, and it's about time they broke this momentum. AVANGAR will no longer be on fire. So maybe it's time for forZe to turn things around. Time will tell. Jame with 3 HP. Flicker wasn't enough. He's 21 for 11 now. Those kills are racking up. He takes the lead. Okay, so Buster will have a second AWP, and Jame will have the first. They'll buy around that saved AWP. See what forZe have in store for them in this round.
What you got, forZe? Need to keep the pressure up. The thing is that AVANGAR can mix things up so much as well. They're not necessarily the most aggressive team, but we'll see what they can do. Jame with the timing on the HE. Is it going to land? Yeah, it's a good chunk of damage there as well. So both teams pretty consistent with those HEs, around the 141 mark. And Jame occupying that long position. Will forZe walk into it? FrazeCrack is nearby. The flashbang for an AWPer around Divider, which would send him back. Allows players to come up connector, allows Z-Power, as you can see here, to emerge from the fountain.
This is a very different setup we're seeing from AVANGAR. Buster was holding an angle towards long, or trying to, in a previous round. Now he's on B. Jame makes his way towards the A-bomb site, and they're keeping a late 4 players around that B area, with Jame delivering a kill, and there's Buster activating towards B. So how are forZe going to deal with this? The CT setup has changed dramatically, at least in terms of personnel. 3 players still towards B. Kika's made his way towards A, and Sanji's doing the same. That can be heard though by the likes of Flip, but do they have the personnel to do anything about it? Jame not delivering just yet. It will get some kind of trade kill, but Flit still has position.
Yeah, Sanji doesn't want to overplay his hand there. He knows his teammates aren't there to support him just yet. Trevor sees Zed. And here comes Buster from the back. Buster looking to be key. Trying to entertain, buy some time here. Sanji now activating from bank. That's a good find.
From the bank.
And now Flitz alone. Some good damage here, but he needs to frags. There's too many players, and Buster from the back with the AWP is going to nail it. And that's the round for AVANGAR. That almost looked a little bit hairy. forZe only had one thing to do when they had 3 players left, and that was just to rush the A-bomb site, and they almost made it work.
Yeah, James, more of a battle sniper when he wants to be, moving from long to the front of A and taking a player out by the toilets. And then the cards came falling down for forZe. Success has been limited in this half for them. And we are back into timeout territory. This time it's forZe calling it. What does their money look like? Well, this looks like a must-win round. It's 8-13 from their perspective. They can buy, but if they lose this, we are looking at game point for AVANGAR.
Yeah, and I feel like they've been struggling to find a good, consistent approach against AVANGAR as well. We've had some good map control off of their defaults, but obviously they're having problems trying converting onto the bomb plants and actually having enough players alive to really have a favorable situation on those bomb plants. We'll see if they can build on that at all. I think it was since Buster picked up that secondary AWP as well, things have been looking a little bit more difficult for forZe. Requires on a map like this that you use a lot more utility to make things safe when there's two AWPs out there, and you can try fire as well as zPower looks to challenge if there was to be a peek from Jane, but Jane plays back in Divider now. Ooh, might get a fast play up long here. Is that what they're up to?
Well, good luck with that because James is waiting. And again, AVANGAR are putting 4 players on the B bomb site. And maybe at a certain time they might rotate to second one, or maybe it'll be reactive once James sees some action. He sees a smoke grenade, trying to delay with a flashbang. Swinging past the A area, wondering what the options are. Putting a smoke down to create some space, or use it as a brick wall and focus on the inside of the toilets. That has caused a 2-man rotation. And it's the right tool, it's the right thing for the job at the moment. I think there was a little prod towards short B from the CTs, because now they're putting 4 on A. That's old, doesn't work out for Kika. I thought they might have Sanji's out in the open. Can he find 2? He can't, the trades continue.
Yeah, Dren's on the scene now, and let's not forget, Jame in the bathrooms can't find the angle against Almeza as the Dren tries to prevent the block from going down. It's awkward. The re-engage, the second peak does the job, as now a 2 versus 2 ensues. zPower has an answer for that, though. Buster, oh my goodness, that is fantastic. Can he finish it off, though? Just zPower left. Time is becoming a problem now for zPower. He goes to the plant straight away, knows that he has some time due to the fact that he threw that Molotov down, and Buster, he's got 6 HP, but it doesn't matter. AWP versus AWP, and it's a headshot from zPower. forZe win a much-needed round.
I thought he might have peeked as soon as he heard the bomb was planted, because he has a slight advantage to take an angle over the player who's still just coming off of having planted the bomb, but maybe the delay was the difference. 13-9 now. The battle of the AWPs is won by forZe, and they won't let AVANGAR take it. That was a must-win, as we said, for forZe, and look what it's done to the economy of AVANGAR. This is the chance they were waiting for. This is a time where they can catch up. Early grenades towards the B-bomb site, and nobody is home. We've got a cardio workout for AVANGAR, making their way down the long position with 4 players, and a Dren outside the toilets.
One thing quickly about that last one I really liked from Jane is that as soon as he realized that the bulk of players were coming from long, he left the bomb site and he took over bathrooms, knowing that when his teammates rotate, that means now they have bathrooms control and his teammates can take site control. So it's a much stronger way to defend the bomb site by him pushing forwards like that, even though he has an AWP. So that's the kind of stuff you need to be doing. Still didn't work out for them, though, and maybe that we have a round with no kill. Okay, no, there'll be a kill soon. Looks like Buster is on the case towards T's spawn, and he's dead. He's very dead. Will we get any more kills here? Oh, they're going to feed the beast.
Chug, 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 chug.
Yeah, that's $900, James. Sometimes I wonder if it's worth even going for the peaks there.
Well, I mean,
just trying to get 1 kill, I guess.
In the late game, a weapon collected like an AK over an M4 may make the difference. There's little to lose, I think.
Yeah.
It's all about what you have to gain. There's another tactical timeout pause. Both these teams feeling the tension here in Moscow. A very lively crowd. They have not been quiet for a single round. So now the gap is 3 rounds. forZe have made it to double figures finally. Just like AVANGAR had late momentum in the first half. Perhaps it's time for forZe to do the same.
forZe summoning all their power, all the energy.
There's dueling chance.
I was about to say, looks like there is some competition out there, though, in terms of
It's not quite let's go Cena sucks, but it's there at the same time. And we can see that AVANGAR, they're in a rough spot. James has been gifted an AWP, and they've got a bunch of pistols. Takes a very forward spawn, has a look. Again, they all put the numbers towards the B bomb site. They've got some flashbangs as well, and maybe some distraction. Is there a trade? No. How on earth has Jerry survived that?
Even looking away, I don't know how he is still alive. Oh dear, they needed to trade him. Even a 2 for 1 would have been good, but it's a 3 for none at this point. James is just going to have to save the AWP, surely. He's actually going to commit himself, moving into the B-bomb site. Dangerous stuff. He's not going to be able to escape at this point. If they attack the B-bomb site, he's going to have to frag everyone if he wants to live. And there's 5 players strong, and they're coming from 2 sides at once. There's one. That's the bomb. There's not too many other players there, but the peek into 2 players doesn't work out. James, this did not look great at all for AVANGAR.
Yeah, they did the best they could. There was a chance, but there was no panic from forZe with the bomb being dropped by Monster. They cleaned up, they bleached everything else, but the gap is reduced to 2. James had 5,900. I guess it was a Drenu sacrifice and dropped him. I can't remember if he was dropped or if he saved. Either way, he will have another AWP. And honestly, AVANGAR have got some mad calculations going the way they get these buys up. Sanji on the MP9 as per usual, nothing unusual there. That's not an uncomfortable position as it might be for some other teams. They are well prepared for that. He's jump peeking while Buster makes a play. Ding dong from Buster, and that's the man advantage they need early.
You might not expect Jane to be here with an AWP on the stairs. He's not really played this position, but looking 2 spots at once, that 90-degree turn is never ideal, and he'll be punished by the timing. Now, Kika might have to think about some kind of a play here. They need information, they need a kill, they need something, because it's all about forZe right now. They've got so many advantages moving in to attack this B-bomb site, much like AVANGAR would like to do on their half. They have well, their first half playing the T side. It feels so dangerous for AVANGAR right now. forZe look really good. It's a good position for Buster though. Here he goes. Waiting for it. Face crack. Oh, he's ready. He's so ready for it.
That's crazy. Buster trying to catch a T, looking for the jump peak, but still somehow face crack wins the duel. He was better equipped, if you will, and flits in a very forward position. It is a save situation perhaps for AVANGAR at this point, but they may be eliminated. This is really weird because the bomb is moving towards Kikat, actually waiting for a flank. He hasn't got the angle. just brazenly standing there alone with the bomb, and now all the flanks are coming through. Dren moves towards the high ground, maybe. I mean, with 20 seconds left, the bomb's soon to be planted. He won't stop that. 1 versus 4. Not much for him to contribute at this point. Moving away. Still got his Gambit sticker on his M4. Can you blame him? Having won major with that squad. Clutch king of 100 ping. Much lower these days. forZe close the gap to 1.
That they do. They are starting to look extremely dangerous. They've made a variety of things work against AVANGAR, and that's only going to serve to fuel their confidence. Talked about a turning point earlier, and since that turning point, James, it's been 4 wins in a row. So the story has really changed. The energy's really changed. AVANGAR maybe need to make a change as well to keep up. And one of the issues was James getting caught in connector as well. It's a really rough situation. Losing James so early, and it looks like forZe are about to equalize here. Up against USPs. 2 deagles, triple nade, quad nades, 4 nades. What do we have with these nades?
Looks like they're going outside the monster. Oh, at a short B position again. We saw 3 on a round much earlier on. These ones have had more success. Not quite fatal, however. But I love these efficient plays in a bad situation when you're on eco. Really smart stuff. Now, Jerry could get caught off guard by one of these players. Oh, the timing! Adren could have traded. Back up he goes, and he's missed his opportunity. That's really unfortunate for him, but very fortunate for Jerry.
The timing definitely not working out for AVANGAR. Trying to make the nades work. Desperation. Oh. And door block that one. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Flit working that door, working that AK, working the eco frags. Sanji looking for those headshots. Flit, surely he's going to get him as well. Flit's coming for all of you. Quad kill for Flit on the eco rounds, and their money is absolutely mad right now. Almeza's breached 11k, Jerry almost 10, Face Crack 8, Flit almost 16, 8 for C Power. They are loaded.
Now who's on fire? The forZe logo looks pretty good on fire. You'll see it after these highlights. Great transfer from Flit. Of course, easier with no Kevlar. And there is Sanji, very, very focused. Tactical timeout has been called. We've got 2 AWPs out for AVANGAR. No more MP9 nonsense. Sanji's pulled out an M4. That's when you know he means business.
This is great as well. I'm so happy that we're getting a close game here for the crowd. You know, it's been back and forth. There's
that forZe chance growing. It's louder. That's getting louder. It's kind of like where Rocky 4 when he's in the USSR and they start raising the chance for him versus good old Ivan Drago. Not quite the same, of course, in this matchup. 13 apiece. Both teams have a good buy, although there's a lack of grenades on Jame and Buster. But the AWPs might just be enough. Jerry fast, quickly into that short B position. Taking some nade damage, but that's no big deal.
Looking to gain some position, forZe. But that smoke, that deep fountain smoke is really annoying. They have to wait that one out. AVANGAR playing really far back behind it, but of course, you've got to respect it as forZe. You can see them checking absolutely everything. That's why it's so annoying. It's one smoke, but it kills a lot of time and a lot of utility in some cases. Flashbang over towards long, and that will force Jame back.
That's a really solid flashbang.
Yeah.
So they're not even investing people in that direction, but Jame has to worry about a flashbang for a player to push. Kiko has a tiny gap. He's got Sam Q's as well. Jame can focus on the inside. Kiko's got a shadow. He could wait for a reload and try and punish it, especially after that frag. Flip moves into the toilets quietly. Oh, the timing is unbelievable! But he gets the kill anyway. That would have been absolutely brutal, at least for us to watch. In the meantime, Face Crack creeps up long. The distraction around the toilets maybe will give AVANGAR tunnel vision.
At the same time, though, Almeza with the bomb is spamming towards the monster position, and now he's alone with the bomb. And they'll lose the A bomb site. This is quite interesting because they haven't seen the bomb just yet. They heard, although they should realize that the second player is there, and they absolutely know what's going on now. And now Meza has to do so much with so little. Oh, that looked like it was pretty good for the headshot there, but there is no time. There is no hope in hell.
Too many players alive for AVANGAR, too many angles, too many setups, too many trade frags. 14-13, AVANGAR back in the lead.
I'm going to need to start distributing some honey tea in the crowd, James. Those voices are getting raspy right now. It's only map 1.
All the aircon. It's a really nice stadium here. Ice hockey area and a football stadium all in one. It's pretty huge. 1 round lead for AVANGAR. It's been a while since they won a round. We've seen that angle being held by Buster previously. Maybe looking for the boost, which we haven't seen this game just yet. Smoke on the balcony, Molotov towards the barrels, but there are counter grenades as well. Facebook makes his way in with the bomb that's being dropped. That's going to commit the remainder of the team. Almeza up, trying to create some space for his teammates, but it's all AVANGAR at the moment. Another one bites the dust, the bomb's on the floor again. Jerry and XE Power, now it's just Jerry. They're getting absolutely toasted by AVANGAR in this round, but he's fighting back. Now it's a 1 versus 2, but Sanji says no. I told you, he's got the M4A4, he means business.
Yeah, that was a great hold from AVANGAR. forZe really tried to mix things up with a very fast pace, and it didn't catch AVANGAR off guard whatsoever. See Jame ready for it. As you said, the bomb committed immediately, and I mean they were committed in the selection of that strategy. So I guess it didn't really make much of a difference. But the counter grenades seemed to do too much, and forZe didn't really have the answer for those counter grenades. And here we are. We get a timeout from forZe. They definitely need all the energy from the crowd now, as AVANGAR sits pretty on map points. Although forZe, the silver lining at the very least is they built up so much economy previously that they are not lacking in any sense for the buys here, but it needs to work out now or they are toast. They're finished for map 1.
Crunch time for forZe. They need 2 from 2. Z-Power with 22 kills, Jame with 30. Man like Jame. So this is a boost Buster's been looking for. He's been looking over the, I think he spotted it.
Yeah, he did. He even shot a bullet, so they should realize.
Well, he doesn't have an AWP, but when he has had it on the balcony, he's been looking over for this specific boost.
Yeah.
But anyway, AVANGAR are far back for the most part, but sanji creeps. Sanji's so aggressive for the team. Honestly, I love his role on AVANGAR. It's so interesting to watch. He's even been afforded an AK-47 on this occasion. Game point, they gave him something special. Looking for a boost. Very aware are both these teams. Honestly, this is a really interesting matchup. Plenty of spray through the door, and Sanji's there to punish.
And there's the molly so that he can reposition safely. That's really important, repositioning all the time as much as you can, and utility can afford you to do that. As you can see, case in point from Sanji. And now forZe might feel that they need to make some things happen towards this A-bomb site. They've left a lurker, I believe, in Jerry towards that. Oh no, never mind. Never mind, he's dead. Jerry's very dead, of course. Sanji takes him down. And now it is a committed play in towards the A-bomb site. forZe looking very good here. They are down and out on the numbers, and it only gets worse. They need to win this round. They've got to find a way. Can they get the bomb down even? It looks like it might be too difficult here. Z-Power doing what he can, but it's just simply not enough. 16-13, AVANGAR with map 1 in this best of 3 here at the Blast Pro Series Moscow Finals.